I know that I've talked quite a bit about clover in my previous videos, but it is the most essential part of our rotation because, as I've said before, it builds fertility, nitrogen in the soil, so we can then continue with our rotation and grow 2 cereals and a bean crop and then another cereal. And there's 2 ways of establishing the clover that we've found. One is in the autumn, and you just plant it into a seed bed in sort of August, early September time, and then leave it to grow. But we found that it gets attacked by a weevil at that point, and we've had very little success at establishing it. And because, of course, we can't use any insecticides, the weevil is just left to devour the clover, and it ends up by destroying it. The best method we found is under-sowing it in a standing crop, in a cereal. And so what we do is that in the spring, in a standing crop of wheat or barley, we under-sow the clover, so we broadcast it into the crop. And at that time of the year, the weather is warm, the soil is warm, and the clover gets away. And even if there is a little bit of weevil there, the clover tends to grow fast enough to be able to deal with it. And this field I'm standing in here is a field that was wheat this harvest, that was harvested a few weeks ago, and it was under-sown with clover earlier in this spring. And I just wanted to show you here, this is now what it looks like. You can still see the wheat stubble, the little short straws that are growing up there, and the clover in between. And as you can see, that it's established really well, and we've got a really good covering all over this field. Now, if we now mow that clover, it tends to make it spread even more, and so what I'll do is I'll come back in probably a month's time, and I'll let you have a look at this field right from this very spot, and you can see how much it's grown. This also is one of my favourite fields on the farm. It's down really sort of actually on top of a hill, but looks down towards the valley, and I think you can see in the distance there's a church there, which is the church where I was married and my 3 children were christened. So it's a special part of the farm for me.